Welcome everybody to National Chumps. We are on episode 5.
Yep.
We just had the brackets come out. We went live on YouTube during Selection Sunday. Had a little bit of an audio issue, so if you tuned in, all 2 of you, thank you for watching and suffering through that pretty bad audio.
And the other 3 from Instagram Live.
Oh yeah, shout out Instagram Live. So appreciate you guys following us. So yesterday we touched on just some initial gut reactions to the bracket, and we went through. We kind of made our picks for each round. And after we've had some time to sleep on it, now we're ready to get you our real picks to help you win a couple of those bracket pools. Unless you're one of those Bemidji boys, please do not take my picks.
This is the first bracket that we did yesterday. Since then, I've probably done 10 other brackets. I don't know why I love it, but I do. They've all got different spins and different things, so I honestly just love filling every single scenario out.
All right. Well, let's get to it. Starting in the South region, I think Auburn is probably the favorite to win that region right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can either bet on a SWAC conference champion or you can bet on a team that's under 500 to beat the best team in America.
Yeah, we'll take Auburn.
Yep.
We'll take Auburn. Louisville Creighton. That's going to be a great matchup for the Birds.
This one's interesting because I spent most of today on the 24-hour rule looking for this tournament's Jack Golke. Where are they hiding? Well, there's a dude named Rain Smith at Louisville who averages just over 8 3-point attempts per game. Jack Golke averaged 10.7 3-point attempts per game, so not quite there, but as far as nation's leading 3-point attempt guy, it is Rain Smith in this tournament. The guys who are over 10 are not in the tournament, so Louisville certainly has that guy. So does Creighton.
Yeah, and Creighton does have a lot more experience than Louisville does. Louisville had to go through that whole Rick Pitino repercussions, the reprimands and all that.
Yeah.
Creighton's been kind of a powerhouse in the Big East the last few years. Always a tournament favorite with Mr. Cockbrenner.
And Stephen Ashworth this year.
And Stephen Ashworth, that guy's a stud. So I'm taking Creighton just for the experience alone.
Me too.
I like where they're at.
Michigan versus UC San Diego.
We already know what this is. What are we doing? We already know where we're going. Give me UC San Diego.
Boo.
Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me.
As a Michigan fan, a team that played really well in the Big Ten Conference Tournament, playing hot, playing good basketball at the right time, I'm still a little hesitant just to take Michigan because I do see UC San Diego being as far as a Sweet 16, potentially Elite 8 basketball team.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to ride the homer here.
Wow.
That's not going to be my 12. I'm going to go Michigan.
Here's the issue. Michigan turns the ball over a lot, and UC San Diego leads America in turnover margin.
But they didn't turn it over a lot in the Big Ten tournament.
Don't give a shit.
All right, so we just got done talking about UC San Diego and Michigan. I was talking about how I saw King Triton as the mascot for UC San Diego. Guy looks pretty jacked. Pretty cool mascot. Still going Big Blue. As we should.
And then coming up next, the 4 and 13, we got Texas A&M at the 4 and Yale at the 13. How do we feel about that one?
Do it.
Oh, I already did.
Oh, wow.
There was no stopping that finger.
I'm Texas A&M.
I'm taking Yale.
I'm also feeling Texas A&M here. I love Yale. I love the Ivy League schools. But if Yale does win, I think they have a really good shot to make a good run. But they're not going to, so I'm going to go Texas A&M. And then we go down to Ole Miss versus the play-in winner of San Diego State and North Carolina, which both teams, questionable resumes, getting into the tournament as is. So give me Ole Miss in a runaway.
I was going to say, I hate this game. I'm probably going to pick Ole Miss here, but when it comes to putting money on it, chances are I'm probably going to take all the 12s and 11s and 10s.
To cover or just on the money line?
I don't know yet. I saw a thing today that said if you took every team on the money line and every team ATS, chances are you're going to be plus units at the end of the day. So I might play around with that.
All right, I like it, but I like Chris Beard here. I think Ole Miss can.
I agree.
I think Ole Miss is going to be better than people think. Iowa State and Lipscomb, the Lipscomb Bison, if you will, against the Iowa State Cyclones. 3-14 matchup. Most of the times I'm taking the 3, so I'm going to go with Iowa State, sadly.
We know how you feel about Iowa State.
I'm concerned about this Keyshawn Gilbert injury for Iowa State. He's out.
Yep, they are a team that's dealing with injuries right now, and that's something that we do have to keep in mind.
Don't worry. If Momcilovic has the ball in his hands, they're fine.
I mean,
doesn't miss.
All right, we'll take Iowa
That's
State.
a Jack Golke right there.
Yeah, well, just wait. If they lose this game, a lot of the Gopher faithful like to ask who hates Iowa, and everybody responds, we hate Iowa. We could be feeling that way about Iowa State. If they lose this game to Lipscomb, who is a tough basketball team.
They are. ASUN was bad this year, though.
Marquette, New Mexico, Lobos for the win. Give me that upset in the first round. 10-7.
I concur. I was talking with a very important colleague today, who may or may not be a New Mexico alum, who said, what conference is Marquette in?
The Big East?
The Big East.
The Big East.
Who is New Mexico's coach?
New Mexico's coach is Rick Pitino Jr.
Where does his father coach?
St. John's.
In which conference?
The Big East.
I like espionage.
There might be some note sharing between father and son.
Potentially.
And then we got Michigan State, Bryant.
Michigan State.
Good year. Michigan State, way better.
I know there's a lot of people who are trying to make noise on Bryant. I love the American East, but haven't won a tournament
No
since
shot.
like 2013. Or no, because UMBC beat Virginia. I'm being a dumbass.
Heading down to the West, we got Florida versus Norfolk State.
Congrats. Goodbye. UConn versus Oklahoma.
One in barbecue. See you later.
Yeah, that spread for Florida and Norfolk State's at 28.5.
Oh my god.
And I think they're going to clear that by a wide margin.
I think
Would
chances are
agree.
good.
Florida's a good team. Anyways, UConn, Oklahoma, that's a good game.
Give me the 2-time national champion.
They'll make it past a round of 64.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Concur.
Or does all that bad karma, all the antics from Mr. Hurley finally catch up to him?
Nope, not here.
Not here against Oklahoma?
Nope, not here.
Round
Right.
2, getting Florida, that's when it'll catch up.
Yeah, he'll get teed up twice.
I'll take UConn with you guys. I'll ride the wave. 5-12, we got Memphis and Colorado State. Probably my favorite 5-12 matchup on the board. Although they are all pretty good matchups in these 5-12 games.
Yeah, they are. I'll take the team that's won 10 straight and has it figured out right now versus the Memphis team that almost blew the American Conference Championship 4 different times.
Yep, I like Colorado State. FOCO, shout out to the Rams representing the great state of Colorado. And then Maryland Grand Canyon, 4-13.
I want to do it.
Terrapins. I'm going Maryland on this one.
I don't know. Dunham's got a little bit of an inside source. I guess like his brother's a huge Lopes guy.
My brother's a GCU alum.
Ooh.
Maryland has to travel cross country for this game. They play in Seattle.
Okay.
Maryland this year is 0-1 in Seattle. GCU is
Big
1-0
stats
in
there,
Seattle.
I mean, we could look at that, but I'm sure Maryland's already on the plane. If they're not there already,
Yeah.
they're going to catch up. They're going to be fine.
The spread's 10.5.
I don't think Maryland covers that, but I think Maryland wins the basketball game. It should be a good one.
Yeah, I would agree.
And Molly Miller isn't coaching the Grand Canyon men's basketball team, so I could really care less about him.
Valid. Shout out Molly Miller. Great coach. Doing great things.
Great coach. Great coach. Good year for Grand Canyon basketball.
Sounds like she might get a bag from Arizona State, though, after they're done with the tournament.
Can you stop rubbing your beard in the mic? Come on.
Kind of
Come
happens.
on, Jaybird.
You tell me to get close, I get close, and this is what happens sometimes. All right? It's not on purpose.
It's tough to have a long beard, I'll tell you.
Missouri versus Drake.
Give me the Drake Bulldogs.
I'm going Mizzou.
Wow.
Really? All the Mizzou hate the last few weeks. What's your spin on Mizzou here?
Just after doing some research, seeing all the things that I've seen, where Drake's positioned in, the Ken Palm stuff and the trapezoid of excellence that we so love.
Shout out Ryan Hammer.
Amen. Shout out Ryan Hammer. Just seeing where each team's been positioned kind of swayed my votes a little bit, you know? And
Fair enough.
where Drake is at right now, not in a good place. I think that Find God was what Ryan Hammer put him under. So, you know, he's been pretty good.
I don't think so.
Pull it up.
Well, while Dunham's pulling that up, we can revisit Missouri and Drake. Let's keep rolling through the rest of the bracket here. I'm taking the Drake Bulldogs, just gut reaction here. Texas Tech, UNC, Wilmington, 3 versus a 14. Texas Tech is way too good of a program.
I'll take Texas Tech.
Give me the Red Raiders.
Yeah, right. Oh, my bad. Gordon Baum.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
What's
Dude, he's
different between Ken
bro.
Baum and Gordon Baum?
Dude, he's
Fair enough.
the difference. So the difference between Ken Palm and Gordon Palm is he purely goes by pace of play. So he'll put all of these teams in the category of dogs, right? And there was teams in this dogs category last year that lost in the first round. Like Gordon Palm, he's a wannabe Ryan Hammer so bad.
But we've been
Aren't we
preaching
all?
for the last 3 weeks. I've heard you preach nothing but fast-paced play from like Houston.
Okay, so here's the difference. When you talk about the trapezoid of excellence and you jump into this conversation, the teams who are on the right side, so Alabama is the team that has 74 possessions per game right now, they average, compared to Drake, which has less than 60. So you're talking about teams who play with control and tempo, which is why the Duke is the favorite here. Because they play with such pace that they can go back and forth, but their also net rating is extremely high. So their ability to play back and forth between teams that play up-tempo and not up-tempo is super dangerous. That's why when you see a team like Drake who slows the pace versus a team like Missouri who wants to play almost as fast as Florida, they're not quite up there. If Drake can really slow the pace and control the game and keep Mizzou from going on runs, that's when Missouri will get into trouble. This is usually where Virginia's at. And so Virginia's been there, done that before. UConn has also been in this territory before.
And look how that's gotten them.
National champions.
Back to back.
So,
And Virginia was also a first-round exit, you know.
Right.
So,
but they played at a slower pace that year. That was the
Right.
year in the graphic. It was Find God. That was the year it happened. All right,
know,
Texas Tech, UNCW.
But that's why I decided to take Missouri after seeing some of the antics and
I'm not doing it.
the antics, you mean the analytics?
yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
We love
Sure.
antics and analytics. All right.
Yeah.
The battle of the Kansas between the R and the Kansas.
Man, you kind of want to take Kansas because maybe they're going to figure it out at the right time. However, I
hell
just haven't had a body of evidence to even justify it. So I guess we're going to take Coach Cal and the Razorbacks here.
Would agree.
The hell you do.
The only thing I needed to see was that fire pit in the back.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's the only thing that got me going for our Kansas.
Yeah, we had a little bonfire here last night. We had a little,
In the middle of a red flag warning.
yeah, you know, we had it contained. It was small. Just had some little twigs in the yard, threw them in there, you know, just
Send it.
love getting a good fire going. Smelled
right.
like bonfire the whole night, but it's fine. Give me the Razorbacks.
To the east we go. Duke versus the playing game for the 16 American Mount St. Mary's.
Shout out St. John's. You're going to win your first round game against Omaha. Omaha, great job in the Summer League, but you're gonna lose.
Goodbye.
Duke.
Duke. Don't even need to
Yeah,
talk
right.
about the 16 Mississippi State versus Baylor.
I'll take State.
It's a pretty interesting game. I haven't looked too closely at the trapezoid or too many of the Ken Palm ratings or anything like that. I just like Baylor, and that's just a gut thing. Baylor had to do a lot more to get into the tournament than Mississippi State had to do, in my opinion. So since Baylor's playing a little bit more inspired basketball, I think that trend is going to continue. They're going to try to show why they're there and at least get one win before they go get the gift of Duke.
Yeah, I also have Baylor winning this game.
Mm-hmm.
Edgecombe's going to go to battle for Baylor.
So then we got Oregon versus Liberty. I'm taking the Flames. I like Liberty in
We're
this
taking the
matchup.
Flames. The whole Trump.
Yeah, I think
Trump squad
I think
taking the
everybody on
The
this podcast.
jackasses are taking the Flames. I will take the Ducks. Ducks in Seattle. Liberty has to go across country. I think Nate Biddle destroys Liberty in the paint. Shellstad will pull up from the logo once or twice. The thing that does scare me a little bit is Caden Matheny for Liberty averages 7.7 3-point attempts per game and shoots at a 39% clip. So if he can get 10 shots off and shoots 40%, that's a lot. That's a big run if Liberty goes on it. The other thing that scares me is Oregon all year has gone through these droughts, 4-5 minutes a game where they don't get a damn bucket, and it just kills. I'm picking the Ducks because, duh, what are we doing?
Right.
And Dana Altman in March generally gets to the Sweet 16, but the first round is always iffy.
And the thing is, if Liberty can dictate the game that they want to play and Oregon has to play against that, and they can't, if they go on those lulls and,
Yep.
Liberty, they take good shots. They're an efficient basketball team.
Generally.
So if Liberty can be efficient with their opportunities and can limit Oregon from exploding, I think Liberty's got a really good shot of covering 7.5. It opened at 5.5. Now it's going to 7.5. So the people are favoring Oregon here too, which I don't blame them for. They're a good team. They have some good guys. Nate Biddle is a beast, but I just like to be a little contrarian here, and I'll take Liberty.
That's fine.
Arizona and the Akron Zips from the MAC.
I'll take the Wildcats.
I'll take the Wildcats too.
Same here.
I like Arizona.
Caleb Love, dog.
It seems like every
Taylor
year.
Love is a dude. He's on that list.
Seems like every year I pick Arizona to go to the Elite Eight or Final Four, though, and they just find a way to just fuck me
Ruin
sideways.
it.
Again, Sean Miller's not there. It's a different team.
Don't
now.
worry, Liberty will ruin it for him this year. No.
BYU versus VCU in a great 6-11 matchup. That's going to be a fun game to watch.
I'll take another cat and give me the Cougars.
Yep,
Yeah. BYU.
Brigham Young University, the Stormin' Mormons. Let's see you beat down the Rams here. I got BYU as well. Wisconsin versus Montana.
I'll take the Badgers.
All right, I'll take the Badgers too.
Do I stick with the Montana from yesterday?
And the
You
Grizz.
knock yourself out there, pal.
Nah. We'll go with the Badgies.
Yeah. I like the Badgers here.
All right, St. Mary's and Vanderbilt, another 7-10 matchup.
I'm going with the SEC Dogs. Vanderbilt in this one.
I don't blame you. I kind of want to, but I also really just want to see St. Mary's do something cool in the tournament for once.
I think if I'm picking the game in a bracket, I'm taking St. Mary's, but if I'm betting on the game, I'm probably taking Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Right now, that spread is Vanderbilt's a 3.5 point dog plus 150. Sign me up for that. I would take that money line for sure. But in my bracket, I'm going to take St. Mary's. I feel a little bit more comfortable doing that. But for the value you're going to get on Vanderbilt on that money line, hammer it.
Might as well take it.
Alabama versus Robert Morris.
Okay, so my brother brought up an interesting point yesterday when we were talking about this game.
If you're telling me that he's going to pick Robert Morris over Alabama.
He's not picking Robert Morris, but he's saying that Alabama has given up 80 points in every single game this year, but two, and the two games were 78-79. The spread right now is currently at 22.5. So, if you're going to bet, you're going to take the over. Because the over-under is at what? It was at 170.
ESPN Bet. Shout out to ESPN Bet Sportsbook. I hate ESPN, but it's fine. They're at 165.5.
Oh my God, I'm hammering that. Because I got to imagine if Robert Morris is going to put up 80 in this game, Alabama's putting up 100.
100%.
Right? like, have to.
Maybe even just take a look at Alabama's team total points too. It'd be interesting to see what it is, because if it's 165.5 with a 22.5 point spread,
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably what we're looking at, 90 to 70, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
They're thinking 95, 75, or to get really exact, it's probably like 97.5 and 75.
Yeah.
My mental math is not mentaling.
Has to be.
But either way, let's head over to the Midwest bracket.
Houston and Suey.
Fun to say, but we're only going to get to say it for one day.
Yep. Suey.
Houston.
Thanks for coming.
For sure.
Gonzaga versus Georgia.
Take the Zags.
I
I want to hear you say it again.
Zags?
Gonzaga.
No,
Oh, the Bulldogs?
you're taking the Bulldogs.
Taking the Bulldogs?
Yeah, I mean, it's a guaranteed Bulldog win here. I know the Bulldogs are winning this game. So, give me the Bulldogs, but I'm going to take the Bulldogs from the great state of Georgia.
Wow.
Give me the Georgia Bulldogs in this one.
I will take Gonzaga.
I also took not Gonzaga. I took Georgia
Wow.
originally yesterday in the bracket.
And again, if I'm a betting man, which I am, I'm going to take a dog here in this matchup. I think 5.5 points is way too much. This is going to be a one possession game.
I agree.
Or Georgia runs away with it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw yesterday, if you just take the dog in these 8-9 matchups, you'll make money. All right, Clemson McNeese.
Oh my gosh, I've been looking at this game all day, and I swear every bracket that I made today, and I probably made 4-ish. I feel like I pick it differently each time.
Yeah.
And it seems whoever I pick out of this game to go play against Purdue or High Point, I pick them to go to the Sweet 16.
Yep.
So I'm going to take, podcast can hold me to it, I'm going to take Clemson.
Wow.
I'm going to take the
I'm
Tigers.
taking McNeese here.
DJ Richards Jr. is a sniper. Dude averages 45% from 3, and he generally has 6 attempts per game. Gimme.
Yeah.
McNeese.
Clemson, pretty decent ACC team, too. Like,
Also,
they did pretty well in the tournament.
Shout out to Amir Khan, the manager. Dude's a stud.
Yeah, would agree. The people love McNeese. We love McNeese. Except for Rep.
What are they, the Bayou Boys?
I don't hate McNeese.
You just really like Clemson.
I really like the Clemson Tigers. They've had a great
Yeah.
year. I thought they were kind of a dark horse to win the ACC. I mean,
They almost did.
they just absolutely fell apart against Louisville, which was very uncharacteristic for Clemson all season long. And if they play good enough basketball, that's a team that can make it to the Elite Eight too.
Yep. All right, Purdue, High Point.
I know everybody's high on High Point, but I want to take them so bad and tell the viewers to take them as well. I think for the 13-4 games, they probably have the best shot, but they got to go beat a big team in Purdue. And Purdue is going to play good basketball. They always do in the tournament.
Yeah, their forward, I can't remember. He's got a hyphenated last name.
Trey Kaufman-Renn.
Yeah, Kaufman-Renn has just been dominating down there since Zach Edey left.
He's a dude.
For those guys.
And Braden Smith, he's a good basketball player too.
He is. Kaufman-Renn scoring 20 points a game. You just you gotta be able to stop more than one person. You know.
Yeah.
After looking at these,
the Boilermakers have dropped 6 of their last 9. And typically going into March is when you want to play your best basketball, and I don't really think they are right now.
They didn't win the first game in the Big Ten tournament, did they?
I'm trying to look that up right now, and I don't see that stat in particular.
I think that's the Illinois game. Hang on.
But I'll take High Point. I'll take a chance. I'll dive in. I'll mess with High Point. Give them a shot against Purdue.
Okay, so they beat USC and then they lost to Michigan. So they won their first conference tournament game. Okay, Illinois and then the winner of the Texas Xavier playing game.
Give me Texas Xavier. I think either one of those teams is going to beat Illinois.
I will take the Xavier Musketeers here. I think they beat Texas.
Really?
Yep. I think that they're going to continue on their heater because they're similar to Colorado State. They've won a bunch of games in a row and then they lost in the Big East tournament.
Okay, and then we got Kentucky versus Troy. Kentucky.
Give me the Wildcats.
I'm not thinking too hard about that one.
Yeah, no.
But watch it be the game that comes back and bites us all in the ass with Kentucky just laying an egg. Because
Always.
they have done that at times this
It's
year.
not Jim Calipari. It's not.
Well,
Does it matter?
I don't think does John have a brother named Jim?
Tomato, potato. It's close enough.
UCLA, Utah State. So we got the Bruins versus the Aggies here.
Gimme the Utah State Aggies.
I do like the Aggies.
I like the Aggies too. So
Both Aggies make it to the round of 32.
yeah, let's go 10. Let's take the 10 over the 7.
And then Great Tennessee next round.
Yep. Sounds good to me. So then back up to the South, or do you guys want to go bottom up this time?
South.
Let's go to the South.
Let's go to the South. Auburn versus Creighton.
I will take the Creighton Blue Jays.
Ooh,
He's
over
the-
Auburn?
He's the only one doing it?
Smell ya.
Auburn. Here
As
we go.
long as Auburn is healthy, I think
if
they should be fine.
if they've got Janai Broom and Baker Mazzara healthy, they're good.
Haven't played in a month. And you get a cakewalk the first game. Then you get challenged.
Exactly. So they'll be ready to go.
I don't necessarily hate this Creighton pick though by you, Coach. It's just the Tigers are just so good. They've
Tigers-
just been so good all
They
year.
are good, but at the same time, not all one seeds are going to reach the Final Four. There's going to be some shit that happens.
Yeah, but to
Not true.
lose it in the round of 32
My
against
bracket
Creighton,
has
not
all
really
four of them going.
Yeah, well, your bracket's fucked then. See you later.
Michigan, Texas A&M is what I have.
I have UC San Diego, Texas A&M.
I got Michigan, Texas A&M.
And I'm going to go Michigan here going to the next round.
I will take UC San Diego.
Woohoo! King Triton going to the Sweet 16 for Coach Dunham.
Yep.
Ole Miss versus Iowa State.
I will take Chris Beard.
I will take Ole Miss as well.
I will take Iowa State.
Wow.
Boo.
I can't do it.
I can't either.
Can't do it.
Can't trust Iowa State.
They
Yeah,
burned
yeah.
me so many
All right.
times.
New Mexico, Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tom Izzo's running through teams here in the tournament.
Yep.
Florida versus UConn.
Take Florida.
I'm taking Florida.
See you later, Hurley.
And then this one gets interesting. Colorado State versus Maryland. I really do think if Colorado State comes out of that game against Memphis and plays really well, Maryland's going to have their hands full for sure. But Maryland is one of the more talented Big Ten teams, and they've been playing great basketball the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to go with Maryland here.
Same here.
I don't hate that pick. I want to do it, but I'm not going to do it.
Drake versus Texas Tech for me.
I will take Tech.
I got Texas Tech versus Missouri. I'm also going the Red Raiders.
I'm taking Drake over Texas Tech.
Wow.
I think
Don't
that
hate it. I don't hate it.
I think that Drake is going to be able to use some of their last few years where they've had really good years and haven't executed in the tournament and finally put it all together and have a good little run here.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see him take down Texas Tech. Patrick Mahomes' alma mater doesn't need any more hyping up. Let's be real.
You're not wrong. I do like watching Texas Tech play basketball, though.
Yeah, they're a good team, but Drake is going to be a lot of fun to watch as well. So Arkansas St. John's, give me the Red Storm. They're not the Johnnies, right? They're not the St. John Johnnies.
No.
No.
They're Red Storm.
Yeah, give me the St. John's Red Storm.
I will take Jim Calipari and the Arkansas Razorbacks.
It's John Calipari.
Damn it. Why do I keep saying Jim?
I don't know.
Fucking Jim.
I don't know. Maybe you just need to stab into a Slim Jim. Shout
Jim,
out
you're
Slim Jim.
going.
No free hits.
Duke. Duke and Baylor. Duke.
I'm taking Duke over Mississippi State.
Liberty versus Arizona.
I'm taking Oregon.
Fair enough.
Arizona.
I have Oregon going to the Sweet 16 in a couple of the other brackets that I've had. And I kind of like whoever comes out of that game to beat Arizona. So give me Liberty or give me death.
Love that. Well
Give me
said.
Liberty or give me death.
Well said.
Beauty.
BYU versus Wisconsin.
I'll take
I
BYU.
I will also take the Cougars.
BYU.
Yeah.
I like the Cougar squad this year. They play really good basketball,
And they've got a really good class coming up, too. Number one overall.
Oh, yeah.
which is wild. But, I mean, if you can recruit the Mormon kids, man, and they can hoop.
Go get them.
Dude, let me tell you a story about I had a roommate one time in junior college.
Okay.
Dude, these kids are so good at basketball because the church literally has a basketball court in it, and they hoop every Wednesday night.
Yeah. So, church leagues. Softball's another big one. Men's league softball.
Yeah.
Church league softball. That's a huge thing.
In the Mormon church world, you can only bring one non-Mormon guest.
Oh.
And so me and my roommate got to go hoop during the Mormon week. I had an old man yell at me one time because I gave him a forearm shiver.
Ooh.
And I said, God bless you.
Were you soaking it from three?
I was not, no. Have you seen me shoot a basketball? The last thing I can do is soak it from a three.
Yeah, well, maybe you're around a Mormon. Maybe you learn a thing or two about some soaking.
I prefer to quake in the paint.
Beauty.
Love that. Better dead than red. Screw you, Wisconsin.
Go.
Pack your bags.
Smell it.
St. Mary's, Alabama.
Give me the Tide.
Vandy versus Alabama for me, but I'm still taking Bama. Marcus Sears just going off.
High Tide. High Tide.
High Tide.
High Tide.
High Tide.
It's my wife's
Great-
favorite commercial.
great
That's
It's
such
up there.
Jay, a great commercial to love.
Head over to the Midwest. Houston versus Georgia for me. I know you guys got the Zags, or at least
No.
Dunham does.
Yeah, I got Houston versus Georgia.
Oh, okay. What are you going to do?
I'm going Houston. Let's not go crazy here. Kelvin Sampson's the man.
I'll take Gonzaga.
Oh. Why? West Coast?
No.
I feel like there's a lot of West Coast bias from Dunham here.
No.
UC San Diego's gonna win it all.
That's not what I said.
Gonzaga's gonna win it all. Oregon's going to the Final Four.
That's what they've been saying for years about Gonzaga.
Years,
and
man.
They
Years.
never came through with it.
Didn't they go to the Final Four 2 years ago, and then they were in the Elite Eight the year before that?
I think they were in the national championship a couple of years ago, actually.
Yeah, it's gotten better and better over the years as Mark
Have
Hughes
they won?
So here's
The image of Gonzaga that's still burned in my brain, though, is watching Adam Morrison just in full meltdown mode after they lost, just crying his eyes out.
That was a brutal loss, though,
And
to be
he
fair.
was still a good pick by the Lakers and just never did anything.
Yeah. I think he's now a analyst.
Does he still have the long hair?
I don't know.
I mean, if I'm an analyst and I'm working on the staff with him, I'm definitely showing him that video probably once a month. We're going to cut over to Morrison here, and it's him just crying at half court. And you got to remember, they're just kids, of course. They're going to cry from time to time. But
It's heartbreaking.
that was
I'm
interesting.
taking Gonzaga here because this, on paper, is a 1-8, but this is also on like net adjusted rankings, like a top 5 matchup. Like this is a Final Four game in the Sweet 16. And I think I'm just going to take Gonzaga and just hope for the best because it's March, man. Not all 1 seeds are going to reach the Final Four. You have to remember that.
Yeah, but most of them are going to make the Sweet 16. And you have
But
two
what
already
if they
getting
do?
bounced in the round of
I
32.
have Houston's in the Sweet 16. They're just not getting to the Elite Eight.
We're
no,
in the
they're
round
not.
of
We're in the round of
32,
32. I'm being a
Round of 30.
dumbass.
Yeah, just chill, dude.
I'll take
Just
Gonzaga.
chill.
How
All
you
right.
doing?
Yeah.
Okay. All
Stick
right.
to your guns. Clemson, High Point.
I got McNeese and High Point.
I got McNeese and Purdue.
Or don't.
Per Giridia.
Give me Clemson.
Purdue. Sweet 16er.
The 3, Kentucky. Playing against Texas and Xavier.
I'll take the Xavier Musketeers. See ya, Kentucky.
I'm just feeling the fight in Illinois. Okay. I'm going.
The fight in Illini.
It's the same thing. Sounds about right. I'm going Illinois over Kentucky.
They used to have a point guard. I think he got picked up by the Bulls. It was like Una Asamdu or something.
Yeah.
He was pretty good a few years ago, but I don't know if Illinois has that anymore. But they can certainly put the ball in the basket. I'm taking Kentucky. Not going to think too hard about it. Utah State, Tennessee. Again, not thinking too hard. Tennessee.
Wish I was on old Rocky Top.
Auburn versus Michigan for me in the South.
The burn.
I'm Creighton and UC San Diego.
I'm going Auburn.
I'm taking Creighton.
I'm taking Michigan. I think this is where Auburn's luck runs out. Michigan's playing too good a basketball right now. Especially if they've figured out their turnover woes. Michigan's going to take down the Tigers. Put the cramps on them.
You
My
can
bracket's so fucking absurd.
Your bracket is absurd right
The
now.
fuck am I doing?
So you're gonna have Iowa, or you're gonna have Michigan versus Michigan State, Elite Eight.
That's what I want you to think. But I'm taking Ole Miss. I'm taking Ole Miss over Tom Izzo and Michigan State.
Wow.
Okay.
Remember, there's a slight break in between, and we can't just assume that Tom Izzo's just going to run over everybody in March. Because if he did do that, he'd be considered better than Coach K.
K, yeah.
You know, and he's not. I'm not saying he isn't an elite coach,
Yeah.
but Michigan State has fumbled the bag in years past too, with some really good basketball teams.
Wow.
You also have to remember that there has never been a 2 seed who wasn't ranked in the preseason top 25 to make the Final Four.
So, Michigan State, see you later. And I think this is where they get them.
I am also on Chris Beard.
I love it. I love it.
I hate Ole Miss going all the way to the Elite Eight, but fuck it.
We kind of hated Texas Tech seeing go all the way to the Final Four a few years ago too when they had Chris Beard as their coach.
I'm sure no one picked Butler to go to the Final Four when they went. So
Nope, you're probably right. And same with North Carolina State last year.
Yep.
So remember, it is March.
and
a lot of these
Chicago
things can happen.
and-
That's why I have all 4 ones going to the Final Four this year, because it's bound to happen sooner or later. Just like it's bound to happen that a 12 seed wins, gets
No.
to the national championship.
no shot.
All right. So you're taking Michigan State over Ole Miss, or whoever you have in that
Yeah,
matchup.
Michigan State.
All right.
He's
cool,
already
cool.
he's already in the Final Four, man.
Oh damn, sorry. Florida versus Maryland. Not
Florida.
thinking too hard again. Florida.
Florida all the way.
Drake and St. John's.
I have Tech. I'm taking Tech.
I'm taking the Red Storm. I have Duke and Liberty.
I have Duke and Oregon. I will take the Blue Devils.
I got Duke and Bama.
I will take Duke as well.
I will take Alabama and BYU.
Ooh. Okay, hold up. I feel like we're in some different spots here.
No, we're in the right spot.
I said
So, Alabama,
I meant
BYU?
Yep.
Alabama. I got Alabama.
I will take Bama.
Yeah, I think BYU has some good magic here. And Alabama has had times where they have not looked very good. So give me BYU. I'm taking a chance. I like BYU. I like the way they play. They've
Yeah,
been playing good basketball, and I think Alabama sometimes crumbles under the pressure.
Yeah, I don't hate your bracket. I'm just looking at my Midwest semifinal. I have Gonzaga, McNeese, and Xavier, Tennessee.
Yeah, you're going a little crazy over
Why
there,
the fuck
Dunham.
did you guys let me do this?
Hey, you're the one that just started talking. I have Houston, Clemson in the Midwest. Give me Houston, and then Kentucky and Tennessee. I'm taking the Volunteers.
I'm also taking the Volunteers.
I'll take Gonzaga to get to the Elite Eight and the Tennessee Volunteers to get to the Elite Eight.
My Elite Eight's a little disgusting right now. I don't
Yeah,
necessarily,
it is.
don't necessarily hate it.
I hate this. This is so ugly.
So right now in the South, I have Michigan versus Ole Miss. So that means one of those two teams is going to the Final Four for me. I'm going to go Homer. I'll say Michigan.
Wow.
Screw it. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll take Creighton. Kalkbrenner deserves it.
Yeah, yeah, they do.
I'm taking,
I like Creighton. I like him a lot.
I'm taking Auburn.
Yeah, not a bad call.
Wow.
Jaybird's going chalk.
Yeah, you and didn't Jay Billis or somebody have all four, and we were like, wow, good analysis.
Florida versus St. John's.
I'll take Florida.
I've been on Florida all year, but there's something about this Red Storm that's making me really, really think about this
It's
one.
because you saw the video today. And
I know, Rick.
off of it.
Rick Pitino just fired me up when I saw that video that he came out with a couple weeks ago.
Where is your toughness?
Where did you grow up to be so mentally weak?
Ever heard of the Projects?
And now you gotta come to St. John's. Yeah, give me the Gators.
Yeah, I'm taking Florida in that.
Duke, BYU.
Duke.
I got Duke versus Bam. But I'm going Cooper Flag, Kneppel, Dogs. I can't remember the big guy's name. You know who I'm talking about. I can't pronounce it.
I got it. I don't know who you're talking about. I've been looking at the players as close as I need to. I don't know, but BYU has a kid named Igor Demon. I love that.
So they had a Jewish quarterback, and now they got a demon hooping? Unreal. What a run for BYU.
I think it's just really going to depend on how healthy
Come on,
Cooper Flag is.
Maluwak? Is that how you...
Come on, what?
Come on,
Come on
Maluwak? He's a dog in the paint for Duke.
Incredible.
All right, and then Houston, Tennessee. Too many one seeds for me, so give me the Volunteers.
I'll say I will take the Volunteers.
Go Houston. All number one Final Four for the Bird.
Don't follow his, folks.
I got Michigan, Florida in the Final Four, so I don't know if you want to follow mine either.
I have Creighton, Florida, Duke, and Tennessee, so not much better.
I like Florida here. I'm going to pick against Michigan. I know
going-
I've gotten them this far. I might as well just ride them all the way to the ship. But
I will take the Florida Gators and the Duke Blue Devils to make the national championship game.
I'm going Florida versus Houston Cougs.
I do like the Cougars, man.
I do too, but not enough to not win.
Yeah.
I'm going Florida.
I got Florida versus Duke as well.
Tiebreaker 171. Don't know why.
Florida versus Duke, if that's a game, that's going to be a great game.
Banger.
Yeah.
Absolute.
I'm following the rule.
What's the rule?
If you beat Oregon, you're winning the national title.
Yeah, it's not quite as good as rule number 6, but
It's not.
we'll take it. We'll take it. I'm going Florida. I like the Florida Gators too much to pick against them. I have them winning in a plethora of brackets that I've made today. I think the only other champion that I've really picked though is the Duke Blue Devils. So, for those of you that are listening, let us know who you think is going to be that national champion. Let us know what you think about our crazy brackets, especially Dunham's. If you're paying attention, fill it out with Coach Dunham. And I don't think you're going to love your results.
I don't think you will either. I'm not sure I do.
But I really think we're set up for a pretty fun tournament, pretty fun month of March. And
Yes, sir.
Let's go Gators. And apparently the Michigan Wolverines.
Let's go Duke. I've never said that in my life.
And remember, folks, when you're picking these brackets, the biggest thing that you want to do is get those Final Four teams right. Obviously, having the champion helps, but at the same time, the more teams that you have in the Final Four, the more teams you have in the Elite Eight, those are the money rounds for you to win that office pool, to brag to your buddies that you beat them down with a higher number than they did. So make sure you get those Elite Eight teams right and those Final Four teams even more right. Good luck to you in the month of March. Like, follow, subscribe. We're on all platforms. Really excited to kind of dive into the madness once the madness starts to unfold.
Yeah, I can't wait. And remember, if you're betting and your team loses or the team you bet on loses, do not slide into DMs and send death threats. Don't be an asshole. That was your fault.
They are just kids. Just because they don't make you money does not mean that you have to put them down.
Yeah, and some of them are 22 making $2 million. We get it. They're better at basketball than you are. Get over it.
And they're more fiscally advanced than we are as well, which kind of blows, but is what it is. All right, folks. Chumps are out.
Chumps out.
Goodbye.